We've just finished race 1 in Buriram and we're on the podium again. That's the 4th podium on a row for our new number 26 Evo. Another superb afternoon's driving by Henk and Daniel. Daniel started the race, so I'm going to ask him to talk us through his first stint, which I think in the beginning involved avoiding other cars mostly.
You're right, it was carnage. In the first few laps there was a lot of contact, a lot of jostling, and it was a question of trying to stay out of trouble, pick your way through, but not lose speed and track position. So I managed to navigate through turn 1 and turn 3 and come out in a pretty decent position, and then it was a question of trying to stick with some of the pro cars in front, build on that position, just get into that lap speed consistency and just push as hard as I possibly could. The car was fantastic. We found a really nice setup that worked for both Henk and myself, and we had the confidence to push, and I certainly pushed as hard as I possibly could.
Right. And you were able to do pretty consistent lap times all the way through your stint to get in a good position for the handover.
Yeah, it was a lot of information coming from Michael, our engineer, about track position, times, gaps, and trying to build the gap to the P2 in class as much as possible without taking too much risk, but also just being conscious that the car's getting hot, the tyres, the brakes. I was getting very, very hot in the car, so I was just conscious that I didn't want to start falling into that risk of making mistakes. So look, the whole stint was managed really well by the team, and I was quite happy with how I drove. And then Henk had a great second stint, but it was even harder than mine, to be honest, because with the pro cars and the traffic and managing track position, it was really, really tough, but great result for us in the end.
Thank you, Daniel. Henk, you seem to have a quieter time than the opening laps, but you had to push all the way, keep the car in the podium positions.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, in a way, I mean, starting the race is very difficult when you're in it, but I think, in all honesty, I prefer to start the race, because doing the pit stop, getting in the car, getting out of it, I mean, when it all works out, it's very nice, but then after that, you gotta, I mean, Daniel will be doing all the work to get it, and so you must make sure that we're not losing out on that. So it feels like there's more pressure on that, and man, it was hot and it was hard work. It was, but you don't want to give up, you don't want to lose out, you don't want to give in on anything. So it's like it's as Daniel says, it's a team effort. You're pushing yourself. I mean, we got Michael on the radio. I mean, this is happening. You got to be doing this. You got to be doing that. So it's just a whole team play basically that does it. Of course, that's why it's a team sport. And then in the end, when it comes together and we're on the podium, I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
Right. Thank you, Daniel, Henk. Now, Martin, these guys have come fully on board this year with a new car, and 4 or 5 races in, you must be pretty happy with the way it's going.
Well, it's like everything you give these 2 guys to drive, they put it on the podium this year. So, well, and honestly, they did a great job. Well, what Daniel said about, the extreme competition on the grid, the heat, everything. It's the best pro drivers of Asia competing here, plus the best amateurs of Asia. It's very competitive. It's a lot of cars on a not so large circuit. So it's a big challenge that you can take away a lot from. And I think for them, this is actually the environment. Yeah, I mean, every time they come and do this, they're getting better and better. So the future's bright.
It's all of us, Mike.
The new 29 Evo is quite a big step up for our team, and these guys have really made a step up this year. Would you say the car is pushing them now to extract more from themselves?
Yeah, I mean, both things have to come together. A great car and great drivers. They are doing their job. I think the car is also doing its job. Of course, it is an improvement of the former generation R8 LMS. So, and it shows to have a result in such a competitive field that it works. The combination works.
All right, well, congratulations on a superb result, and thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.